we got a lot of people ranking the Scream movies, so I figured it was a good opportunity for us to re-rank them some bitches. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. And then for some reason, like everywhere I look right now on YouTube, it's either somebody's doing a Scream ranking or someone's doing a Scream review or someone's doing like a Scream documentary. It's like everything has to do with Scream right now.
Yeah, they're even playing Wasp Scream Until You Like It all night long.
That's right.
Worst to best. How about that? So, my worst one, I think we're going to be different on this one.
Okay.
I still think the worst Scream movie is Scream 4.
God damn. Okay.
I just think it was totally uninspired. There was no point for it to exist. And if you look at it along with the other five Scream movies, you could totally take that movie out. It's like nobody gives a fuck. There's nothing. Kirby was the best character in that movie, but other than that, I'm sorry, I don't give a single solitary fuck about Macaulay Culkin's baby brother.
How dare you? That's fucking Kieran Culkin.
Fuck you, Rory.
My worst by a long, long margin is part five. I don't even really have to think about it. I could be brain dead in a coma. I'd still believe that part five was the worst.
Well, I would say the next to worst would be part five for me. I would say Scream 5 is, you know, I didn't find much. I mean, it was probably better than the last two Halloween movies,
It was, yeah.
but it was still not very good. And I tried rewatching it not too long ago, and I just couldn't make it. I could not get through it.
I couldn't tell you exactly why. Now, like looking back on it, it's so. But the only thing I think about when I think about that movie is like the way it looks is very like Lionsgate-ish, and it just I can't stand movies that look like that, and I never ever want to go back and watch movies like that either.
Yeah.
So, but mine then would be my next one from worst would probably be six. I would go five, then six. I think six is a little bit better. It's a little bit more well like acted and put together than part five, but I mean that's not saying a whole lot.
I would go with 6 as well for my next one. I guess number 4 would be number 6. Yeah, I think that's right. My number 4 is number 6. There's maybe a little bit more rewatchability on this one. I don't know because I haven't tried to rewatch it. But those guys, what are they called? Video Silence or Radio Silence or whatever. That's their tag team name.
Yeah,
They technically know how to make a movie and it looks great. Both of those movies look great. But I think there's a couple more memorable things in 6 than there were in 5. And I like it just a little bit better. So yeah, I would put 6 at number 4.
I would probably fittingly then put four at four. Uh, Four is not to me like the original trilogy. Like it doesn't flow like the original trilogy, and it's not like it doesn't have the same nostalgia factor or anything like that for me either. But there's a couple of things that kind of save that movie from. First of all, most of the main cast still look like they're alive, which that's not the case in part five or six because Courtney Cox looks like a lizard skeleton, and like most of them look basically okay. And the Kirby character kind of at least makes there one person in that movie aside from the main, the old cast that you
Mm.
kind of like enjoy watching.
The cinematography in part 4, though, Carter, and I've heard a few people mention this. What do you think about the look of the movie? Because yeah, it does kind of look a little different than all the other Scream movies, really.
That's what I was saying. Like it doesn't have the same kind of look as the original trilogy. It doesn't like.
Didn't they shoot this movie in Michigan? Wasn't that the one that? Oh
Well,
God,
fuck. Did Sam Raimi shoot it? He's the only guy I know. That lives
Rob
in
would know.
Michigan.
I'm almost positive it was shot somewhere like because I remember this was around the time that we were all doing conventions and stuff together. I'm almost positive it was like in Ann Arbor or somewhere like that. So that might be why it looks a little bit different. That's an odd choice. Part 4 is not, I mean, it's pretty horrible though. Like I rewatched it when we did a retrospective, 2 or 3 years ago, whenever we did that first Scream retrospective, because I literally didn't remember a fucking thing about it. I'm like, which one is that? And then now the only thing that I can really recall is Eric Roberts' daughter like does fucking backflips through glass tables and like smacks herself in the
Right.
head.
She does like that scene with fucking Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. She beats the shit out of herself. Yeah.
And it was like it kept going on and on and on.
That's one part of the movie I didn't like, by the way, was Emma Roberts overacting like when she's the killer or whatever. It's like, God damn, dude. Like she really went like way too overboard.
Has she done anything since? Emma Roberts?
You don't ever see her anymore, really. She's
She,
probably on some fucking TV show. It's on like Apple TV or something. Who knows?
so my number three, it's pretty self-explanatory. We might be in agreement for the next three.
I think we will.
Scream 3 is my number three. And a lot of people shit on Scream 3, but I think they need to go back and rewatch it because our boys are in the opening scene in it, Creed, and them alone made that movie, in my opinion. Now, they produced the whole soundtrack. Our boys Creed did, and they have all kinds of, late 90s, early 2000s bands in there, like Hoobastank and Fuel and Kinder and Fingerfuck 11 and all them.
Clutch and gear shift and carburetor.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Brake.
Just brake. That's it. Yeah. Emergency brake.
But there's some good stuff in Scream 3, though, like the whole thing with Sydney's mom that's a ghost or whatever. Like, that's some pretty good shit.
I'm telling you, man, that freaked me out probably more so than anything else in the Scream movies when I first saw it. That whole dream sequence where she's like, and the mother shows up and all that. And then towards the end, too, where he's got like the voice modulator thing and he's talking like her mother and all that. Like, it's got some good stuff in it. Lance Henriksen's in it. He's good in it. He's like the sleazy director.
Roger Corman has a cameo in it.
Yeah, the opening is good.
2000, Jenny McCarthy is in that to look at. What the hell do people complain about, man? I mean, the unveil is very weak. I'll
That's probably what people complain about because there was really no twist. I mean, there was a twist, but there was no like, thing where it was two people or it was the mother. It was something like, you know what I mean? That actually kind of like startled you or whatever. And I think people were kind of pissed off that they didn't go more overboard with the ending at the time and just kind of made it like one person.
Well, and I know that there's aspects of Scream 3. It's got a lot of comedy in it. But I think originally it wasn't supposed to be that much. It was just, this was right around the time that Columbine took place. And there was some issues with stuff that was in the script that they had to take out. And I guess they replaced it with comedy. Jay and Silent Bob are in it. Yeah, it's got some. I'll tell you one to look up, though, is I think it's the music video to What If. And it's got David Arquette in it and Ghostface and Creed being killed by Ghostface or being stalked. So that's one to look up on YouTube. It's actually really fucking. I mean, it's filmed like the movie. It looks like the movie. So, I mean, this was probably the height of Creed's popularity around this time, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. And who would have thought that, like, out of all those people in that movie, the craziest son of a bitch there would be Scott Stapp?
Yeah! So, is number three your number, I guess? Okay.
Number three is number three, yeah. I still can watch 1, 2, or 3 anytime and put it on and like leave it on in the background. And it's just any of those movies are just, they look to me, they have the same kind of appeal as the Paramount Friday the 13th movies. They look a certain way. They take you back to a certain like period of time. So I can watch any of those the same way I can watch like the Paramount Friday the 13th.
They take you back there if only for a day.
Yeah.
So of course, number two is number two. Number two.
Smells like poop.
That's the first one I saw in the theater. I have fond memories of that. Great opening scene. I think they had a great cast in this. I think the unveil in this is actually pretty good. I mean, some people make fun of it because it's fucking Aunt Jackie from Roseanne.
That's so killer to me. Be honest though, man. When you saw that movie, and I don't think anybody had any fucking clue that was going to be who the killer was.
Nobody did. If they told you they did, they're full of shit.
because that
At
was
least with her.
Yeah, with her for sure. Because that was a side character that was barely in the movie, and I thought what they did with that was amazing with the ending and stuff. And it's got like one of the most memorable openings, like you said, of any like horror film. People shit on it now because it's the trendy kind of thing to do, but it's
I
still
wouldn't. I mean, you should live it even more now because Jada Pinkett gets God in it. Everybody hates her.
in the beginning. Yeah, she gets killed off pretty quick.
I think part 2 is the closest one that still has that mid 90s vibe to it. For sure.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Although I tell you one thing I did not like about that movie. There's just one thing.
What's that?
Fucking, I did not like Jerry Conley fucking ass in that movie.
I remember, what was the scene where I think it's, they're in the cafeteria or something, and he just fucking starts singing to her.
Right.
And I remember when I saw that at, like, when I was in the movie theater and stuff, and I was like, God, I'd be so embarrassed if I had to even act to do that. That is so fucking, and I said something you can't say now, but that's what I said it was.
Well,
I'm not going to say it, I promise.
No, I probably wouldn't.
But I was like, God, that's like, I would hate to have to do that, even like in acting.
Something about just his portrayal of that character was so bad, and I hated everything about it. Like, and not just that song. That's probably the height of how bad it was. I'll give you that in the movie. But just him in the whole fucking movie is just lame. It's just a badly written character.
What they should have had him sing was Stand By Me, because that's the best movie that son of a bitch will ever be in.
That's true.
Number 1, of course, is Scream 1. If anybody has anything other than Scream 1 on their top list, they're either curly jaws or they're full of shit.
Which, and with curly jaws, you never know if it's both.
I think he thinks it. Like, I really do. I think that he believes it, but, you know. I mean, what can you say about Scream 1? That's all-time classic. You know, it revived Wes Craven's career yet again. I think a lot of people, and they still don't talk about this, you know, the star of the movie, which it was marketed as Drew Barrymore was the star of Scream. She was the first credited person in the movie. And everybody was completely shocked that she's killed off in the opening scene.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about Scream anymore. Like, it's oh shit, Will Smith's in here.
But yeah, Scream 1, all-time classic. It's the best Scream movie. There will never be one that'll top it. It's legendary in my eyes. There's so much cool shit in it. And the unveil is by far the best. And it is what it is. That's the Scream ranking. Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to touch nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
Hey everyone, it's Oak Early Jaws. We got some great shirts for you. We got Faces of Death Part 2. We got Creepy Stories to Tell in Kentucky. The Colonel Would Approve. We also got deadpit.com. We got Deadpit Radio with the little fucking Deadpit dude on there. We got It Never Ends, a Halloween spoof parody of the new movie. We got It at Night. We got the Rat Pack, Uncle Rat himself. It just gets better and better, so go on and get you some shirts over at Team Public. It just gets better and better, boss.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Deadpit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.